2012 was an eventful year for the banking sector in Africa. For French companies, 2012 witnessed a decrease in activities on the African continent. BNP Paribas sold its Egyptian unit to Emirates NDB for a $500 million deal. In the transaction, the Dubai lender took over a network of 69 branches with over 200,000 clients. BNP Paribas is the second French lender to have disposed of assets in Egypt the same year. On the 13th of December, Société Générale agreed to sell its majority stake in National Société Générale Bank, SAE. It's one of the biggest private banks in Egypt with 160 branches and 700,000 clients. Qatar National Bank agreed to pay almost $2 billion for the NSGB. Qatar National Bank has branches in Tunisia, Sudan, Mauritania, Libya, and Morocco. Unlike French banks, Barclays is reinforcing its One Bank in Africa strategy. On the 21st of August, the British lender sealed a $2.1 billion deal with the South African bank Absa. Absa will acquire Barclays' operation in 9 African countries and be renamed Barclays Africa Group. The expanded company will employ over 43,000 people and will have 14.4 million clients. But one of the bigger players of 2012 was an African bank. The Banker magazine, a publication of the Financial Times, has named United Bank of Africa, UBA, the Bank of the Year. This award underlines the spectacular recovery of Nigerian banks. Lenders in Nigeria were badly affected by the 2008 crisis. Based in the capital of Togo, Lomé, and covering more than 30 African countries, EcoBank has continued to develop. To finance its expansion, the group raised $250 million from South Africa's Public Investment Corporation. The World's Bank Group International Finance Corporation has also invested $100 million in EcoBank. Since October, the Togolese lender has a new board director, the Ivorian Thierry Tannout, former vice president of IFC. Another highlight of the year was the signature of a $1.26 billion deal between the Moroccan Banque Centrale Populaire and Côte d'Ivoire's Groupe Banque Atlantique. Morocco's second biggest lender purchased a 50% stake in Banque Atlantique. Thanks to the transaction, Banque Centrale Populaire will expand in 7 African countries of the West African Economic and Monetary Union. The bank's rivals, Attijari Wafa Bank and BMCE Bank, have stronger presence on the continent. Attijari Wafa Bank is present in 11 sub-Saharan countries and is currently planning to expand to Egypt and Angola. The situation is very different for Tunisian banks, especially state-owned lenders. Most of them are in a terrible state. They have been collecting bad debt, and the Tunisian government is hesitating on what strategy to adopt. It was only in September 2012 that the Société Tunisienne de Banque, the Banque Nationale Agricole, and the Banque de l'Habitat presented their 2011 results. In September, Standard & Poor's rating services said the Tunisian banking sector was facing a very high risk, a situation which put at risk the very viability of the country's economy. 2012 saw the rise of investment banks in Africa. Top investment firm Lazard opened a unit in Africa like its rival Rothschild, JP Morgan, and Crédit, which is already operational in Africa. And finally, the year has been difficult for governors of central banks. They had to fight hard to protect their independence from the political world. The governor of Nigeria's central bank, Lamido Sanusi, in June firmly opposed 2 bills to put the institution under parliamentary control. In Tunisia, the chief of the country's central bank, Kamal Ennebli, was less fortunate. He was removed from his position in July after months of showdown with the government. As he was stepping down from his position, he made a speech in support of the central bank's independence.